Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have the Eric Clapton Stratocaster on the bench. It's a signature series guitar. Let's get to work. I'll show you what we're doing. We are doing a complete pickup swap. These are the pickups that are going in. As you can see, I've already taken the pickups that were in there out. They were not the original pickups already in there. He had a couple of Seymour Duncan mini buckers and one original noiseless in there. I've already tinned the ends of these wires. These are Fender Custom Shop. I believe them to be something like Texas Twisters or something like that. I forget exactly what they're called, but Fender Custom Shop. Bigger than life. And they measure somewhere around 6 ohms resistance. Bridge, middle, neck, pretty basic stuff. Let's just get them screwed in and see if we can get it in the video. We took the other ones out. We're putting these right in. Hopefully everything will go according to plan. We did not try to test fit them, and already it's giving me a hard time. There we go. Maybe yes, maybe no. We could be facing an issue. I'm not 100% sure that these are going to go exactly the way they're supposed to. They don't feel like they are. It's always tricky getting these things in. It's not as bad as doing a Les Paul or what have you. But there we go. Get on there where you're supposed to be. Pretty standard size. I would be shocked if they were not the right fitment. There we go. Oh yeah, pulled right up. That's one. Middle. It never goes super smooth like you think it should, fender to fender, but I don't know. I don't know sometimes. I can tell it probably, I'm just guessing at the height right now. You don't know where they're going to live until we do the setup. Neck. Looks kind of wonky when you're doing it, but trust me, it all comes out in the wash. All comes out in the wash. So we're going to leave it flipped over like so, and usually I kind of set it like that. That way I can get everything wired up where I want it, and then eventually, of course, we're going to, however many we need to snug everything up in the cavity, because we don't have a lot of space in here. This is one of those really narrow route jobs where the pickup to the pickup to the pickup has to all fit underneath each other and then shoot over that way. I'm going to hope we have enough wire. It appears as though we will. It's going to orient something like that. Then I usually put a zip tie there and a zip tie there, and then make that angle turn towards the pots. Let's get heated up and see if we can remember where everything goes. I'm going to pause quickly while I wait for the solder station to do its thing. It will take a moment. Stand by. Okay, so off camera, I put all my grounds on because those are the harder ones to do. Let's go neck. Goes right there, which is this guy. I know it looks like a scrambled mess of spaghetti, but there's a method to my madness. I'll just kind of push it in there. If you have your lugs tinned properly, all you got to do is touch it and push the wire through. Neck is in the middle, or middle is in the middle, of course. Just like so. And then the bridge goes over here. And I'm trying to push them up from underneath, which makes it even trickier. I don't want them sitting out on top. It just makes for a cleaner joint and a cleaner job. So, I know you didn't get to see a whole lot because we can't put the camera right down on it, but that is that. Common grounds all go to the volume pot. This is what I was talking about. So we've got quite a bit of extra wire over here, and I want to make sure that we tuck it and tie it together the best way that we can, which is going to be one zip tie right there, and that will tuck down in here. Use these little zip ties, nothing special, nothing fancy. I'm going to put one right there because I know it's going to need one right there. We may be interrupted briefly because I'm waiting. A client is en route to pick up 3 guitars. But what we're going to do right quick before we go any further, I just wanted to tie those together. Before we go any further and neaten up our job is we're going to tap test, as we always do. Pretty critical. We have the wiring apart. Let's just make sure that we're getting sound in the areas that we're supposed to be getting sound in. Oh yeah. This thing has an active circuit in it. Everything's working the way it should. Kill switch. That extra noise you're hearing is just because everything isn't bolted in. And I have the gain and the volume all the way up on the amp, so we're right close to it. And these are, when I tell you hot pickups, they're hot pickups. There's just no other way to describe them. And I think that's why they're going in this guitar. Short story to tell you how we arrived at this job. This client is a really good client. He's a return customer, comes back again and again. He's got many guitars. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants, and he never stops chasing tone. The pickups that came out of here these pickups came out of a parts caster that I sold him, that I built and sold him, and he took these custom shop Fender pickups out of that and wants them in here in the Eric Clapton guitar. And the ones we took out of here, which were two Seymour Duncan Bridge mini buckers in the bridge in the middle. So they're both bridge pickups. And then one noiseless that was original to this guitar are going to go back in the parts caster. And that'll be a different video. But today's job is almost done. I mean, we're gonna tighten this stuff up, and as much as I can off camera, because this can get a little wonky, because I want to put another zip tie and hold this down tight so that it sits in the bottom of the cavity and doesn't interfere with anything else. So stand by. So moving right along, we have the pick guard, control plate, call it what you want, back on the guitar. Now, this is a single ply, because as I said, this is an Eric Clapton signature series guitar that's supposed to emulate or reproduce a 60s era Strat. And it does that pretty well, and this is an amazing guitar. It is very much a nice player, and it's well built, and it responds well to everything that we've done to it so far. Not only this job, but other jobs. But I'm going to qualify that with these single ply. They try to pop up because they don't have as many. They're single ply, number one, so they're not as stiff, and they don't have as many screws. There would be at least one there, and at least another one there. They tend to kind of bulge in weird places, but I digress. It can affect pickup height, but once you get it set, you just have to check it every once in a while whenever you get a setup done to make sure that the single ply pick guard didn't swell up in the middle and get your pickups too close. So everything's wired up on it. It's going to be a restring now. We're putting 8s back on it. He runs 8s on this guitar. And yeah, I'm going to pull this off because I want to restring it. And I just want to double check. There shouldn't be a lot of setup to it, but yeah, we had it apart, and for sure the pickups are going to have to be adjusted, the height. But I'm gonna check his settings. I did make notes before and after. He wants it set up as close to it was before, and I will do everything that I can to make that happen. Guy knows what he wants. Gotta admire that. And I don't know if anybody's ever done a mod like this. On this particular type of guitar, you guys can let me know. I don't have time to search it. There's our battery. Yeah, where were our measurements before? Oh yeah, I wrote every single measurement down. This particular one, we want a floating bridge, of course. You can see I have it taped off because there's a spring in there. And I measured exactly where he had it set before, and that's exactly where I'm going to set it back. And I'm going to have the same amount of lift here because we're putting the same strings on it. So let's get to it. As I said, we're probably going to get interrupted because just as sure as God made little green donuts, I have a client coming to pick up not one, not two, but 3 guitars. I'm going to try to get this, at least the strings on it, and tensioned while I deal with the other client and delivering his instruments back to him. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. And of course, to help me along, I just dropped a string. Just like when you're working on a car, it'll roll all the way to the bottom of the worst place it could possibly go. Only when you're pressed for time do things like that happen. Right? Only when you're pressed for time. That's all right. I'm used to it. These things only happen to me. You want to know why? Because my name is Blackjack. That's why. It don't happen to Joe across the street. No, it only happened to me because my name is Blackjack. That's why. Very, very light strings. I don't know. Man, he's got everything from 11s and 12s on a guitar to 8s. Mine is not the wonder why. Mine is just a do as the client requests. Let's get everything straightened back out here. All right. See, are they going to cooperate? Yeah. I gotta say, I like this instrument a lot. I am going to pause while I get all the strings on it. When we come back, we're going to check the measurements that I took when I brought this guitar in. Against what they are when we restring it. So stand by. Be right back. So, of course, dummy that I am, I got the two guitars mixed up with the strings that are going on. And thank God I didn't get mixed up with the wrong pickups in. This one's getting 10s. It's the parts caster that's getting the 8s. So we got the right strings on there now. And we're just going to tune it up to pitch and let it settle for a few minutes. Because right now, yeah, they're all over the place. Just enough lift, so I'm pretty sure that the settings are going to be just fine. We're just still trying to reach stretch and equilibrium with the springs because we did change the strings. I mean, you got to take them all off. And I wasn't about to try to fish them back in there. I hate doing that. Oh, there we go. That's a sign of a really well-built instrument. It comes right to pitch, and it's so stable. I'm going to let it settle just briefly before I start pulling on the whammy. I wonder where his whammy bar is. I got a million guitars in here. I hope he put the whammy bar in here. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'll bet you this thing just pops right. This guitar is such a beauty, and it reacts so well to everything that we do to it. I'll bet it just even after restringing it and having it all apart, I'll bet everything pops right back to where it was. Oops, if you put the tuner back in. Oh, I'm a mess today. Dead on. Dead on. Yeah, we're just going to let it settle. We can make noise. This thing is going to be a monster. I can just tell already it's going to be an absolute beast. I think he hit on something here. Yeah, beautiful. So we know it's just going to stabilize a little bit. I'll be back in a few minutes. Every time he brings this guitar into the shop for something, I go, "Are you sure you want to do it to that guitar?" Well, this one I'm agreeing with, because wow. I don't even think there's going to be that much setup. I can tell by looking at the bridge that it's got the perfect amount of lift. So we went from 10s to 10s. I'm going to pause just for the exercise. I'm going to pause, let it settle for about a half an hour. When I come back, we're just going to check the measurements for the setup. Stand by. So give or take about a half an hour. And yeah, it's holding tune beautifully. I mean, it bounces right back into pitch. I am just curious because I have a curious mind. If it came back to, let's see, it said, just going off of my notes, yeah, regular setting. It should be dead on. Perfect. Perfecto. The proof is going to be in the pudding with the string height. So and I don't usually do this, but 4/64, 4/4, 5/5, 4/5. So he was a little over on a couple of strings. Yep, the ones in the middle, and this is the way he said he had it set up. No, I don't care. That one needs to come up slightly. So minor adjustments. I'm going to set them all the same. I'm thinking that he was a little off. I just want to make sure before I start setting string height. We are perfect. We are perfect with the floating bridge. I mean, I like it exactly where it is. But I am going to adjust. I am going to adjust his string height. It just needs to be done. But other than that, this guitar is ready to go. It's ready to go and ready to play. So a little bit minor adjustments. We got really hot pickups in this guitar now. I can't wait for this guitar player to get this back. He's gonna shit and go blind. It's Blackjack with 396 guitars. We'll talk soon. You never know what's going to be on my bench. Like and subscribe if you dig what I'm doing, and please share.